Hey, it's Rick and Jamie now. A little different than the Michaels usually sit next to me. I got Jamie in today because we had some client questions on HSAs, health savings accounts. These are typically the unforgotten bucket of like the backup to an IRA account. And so it's good that people are asking. But if you to be eligible for an HSA, not everybody's eligible, but to be eligible, you have to have a high deductible uh, plan, health plan. If you have one of those, though, HSAs are fantastic. Because Jamie, run us down the basics on what an HSA can do for somebody.
Sure. So first off, what is a high deductible plan? So that means that you have a deductible of about $3,850 for an individual, or I believe it's $7,750 for a family. If that is your deductible, then I'm sorry, those are the contribution limits. The deductible is $1,500 for an individual and $3,000 for a family. If that is you, you are eligible for an HSA, and an HSA is a health savings account. I think more people have heard about it now,
Yeah.
but 5, 10 years ago, it wasn't really that popular. So,
I think most plans these days are high deductible.
I know. I feel like almost everybody's eligible.
Just for you, a deductible is what you pay before like insurance kicks in. So you're out that money before your insurance like would start paying for something. So
Yeah, so just kind of the three basic points that I wanted to discuss today about an HSA. There's a lot we can say about it, but number one, it's kind of a triple tax threat. So you contribute to your HSA that is tax deductible. When it is in your HSA, it can grow tax-free or tax deferred depending on how you use your HSA. And when you take money out, just like a Roth IRA, it is tax-free if you are using it for medical expenses. So you have kind of this triple whammy tax
yeah,
savings with your HSA. Is there anything you would add to that with tax-wise?
I would just say the timeline that it can stay in there is one of the biggest benefits
Yep.
timing wise because I mean you don't have to use that money on your insurance next year, even the year after. As we've talked many times in videos that we've done, time is your biggest advocate. So if you're a 40-year-old and you put the max into an HSA because you've got nowhere else to put tax deductible money, I mean, you've got 15, 20, 30 years that could stay in there. And I mean, you could literally pay your Medicare uh, premiums with an HSA, 30 years from the time you put it in. So it's pretty valuable as far as like the forgotten IRA, I guess, is what we'll say. Um,
And there's also, that's my second point is there's no deadline on HSA reimbursements either. So say my kids are in braces now, I have this HSA plan, but I decide I'm going to pay out of pocket for all of those. I'm keeping my receipts. It does take a little bit more bookkeeping because you have to keep all of your receipts for this in case the IRS ever comes knocking. But in 40 years, if I am, strapped for money, I can go back to those receipts and say, hey, I never got reimbursed from my HSA for this all these medical expenses. I could pull $10,000 then, I could pull $100,000 then, and it's all
paying yourself back.
it's all tax free.
Forgotten deductions, yeah.
So there's no reimbursement deadline, which is really cool.
There's no income limit on that?
There's no income
Yeah.
limit. So unlike a Roth IRA where you are
Yeah.
kind of you're roofed at an income
Yeah.
limit, there's nothing for an
Yeah,
HSA.
it's deductible for most people. We can do another video on this, but a pre-tax IRA is going to have fairly low deductibility limits as far as like joint income is like 118. A Roth is like just over 200. So if you're making a couple hundred grand a year and you don't have anywhere to put money, like you should for sure at least get some of it into an HSA and pay for those premiums. Like let it grow. Like maybe you pay out of pocket this year. Let it grow 30 years.
100%.
And then, when you're old and gray and you're 90 years old, you can pay for your Medicare premiums out of this thing. So
Yeah, there's two different strategies. So you can use it for your medical expenses, which is what it was intended for. And I have two teenagers who both play sports. So we go through our HSA just about every year. We fully fund, we go through it. We've got two kids in braces. We get broken bones all the time. We use our HSA for medical expenses. But you don't have to. You can use it as an investment strategy for your portfolio. And you can invest inside that HSA, leave it alone, and just let it grow. So
well, the flip side of that is if you're a high earner, deducting medical expenses is hard. Like you have to, it's like over 7.5% of your gross income has to be spent on medical before you can even start deducting it. So if you want a deduction that year, the only way to do that is really going to be using HSA.
mhm.
Um, but you can still deduct it that year and then wait and let it grow for decades. So, I mean, you got to pick and choose what you want to do with it, but it's a really helpful tool.
So then the third point I would say is, what if you overfund your HSA? Or I shouldn't say overfund it, but what if you're like, all right, I'm going to pay out of pocket, I'm just going to let this grow, and then you have this huge HSA. Well, Jamie, now what do I do with that? Because I have this huge chunk. I'm never going to use this whole thing for medical expenses. Well, number one, I would say I think that we underestimate how much our medical bills are going to be as we age. That's the first thing I will say. Number two, you can, after age 65, pull it out, just like it almost converts into a traditional IRA. You can pull it out and it will just be taxed at ordinary income. So you didn't get it taxed going in. It grew completely tax deferred. And then you're pulling it out and you want to buy a new mountain home, you can use your HSA as long as you're over 65. You want a new flat screen TV? You can pull it out of your HSA. So this has now become a traditional IRA for you. It's really versatile. It's a really, really great investment
who's the person
strategy.
that can do that and like not have medical bills?
No,
70s,
I know.
Jeez, good luck. Great for you if that's you.
That's right.
Man.
Congratulations.
So it's very flexible. It's there. There's no income limit. Hope that answers all your questions. Hit subscribe below. Look at the updates we have coming out, and then talk soon. Hey guys, if you like that, click here or here to see other videos that we've recorded, and we'll see you soon.